That's right, folks. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, not because I wanted to, it's because the very first thought that I had was the opportunity to speak to some incredible person that I met. I'm going to introduce her shortly. That it's going to just knock your socks off. It's just that's the way it's going to be. So be prepared. Be prepared for some tissues and be prepared to laugh. So that's what we're going to be doing. My name is Tom Russell. I'm your host for Life Without Limits. And as I recalled from last week, I had an incredible guest, Christopher Coopers. He was just so forthright and honest about his relationship with his father. And he talked about the abuse. But at the same time, we talked about his power of forgiveness. That was just, it was so inspiring. And Chris it was able to answer a lot of the questions that a lot of you listeners asked, and that's what we're going to do here. I want to get to it so I can get to my guest. The first question was, did your father not know how speaking to you like that was making you feel? In many ways he did, and in many ways he didn't. When he was in the thick of the moment, he probably couldn't recognize that those of us he was berating even had feelings, either that or either that or he didn't care. He did apologize a lot though, so I think he did care, at least to a point. So your father's words made you question yourself. For a long time they did. I asked myself as a child, as a teen, and as a young adult, what's wrong with me? I wonder if I can ever forgive or figure out how to be as good as anyone else. Up until the last couple of years, I truly believed that most of other people were better than me. I also, until recently, didn't believe myself to be capable of improving or becoming a person of value or of any kind of real worth. Um, uh, all right. He did not want outside kids to influence you, but he treated you in such a way. He wanted his family to be a certain way, so he kept us away from those secular kids, excuse me, who he felt would influence us in a bad way. Of course, when we didn't live up to his expectations, then we found out really fast. He failed to recognize that ultimately the majority of the way a child turns out is a parent's responsibility, no matter what other influences may be present in a child's life. That is such great insight in it. Um, do you still self-doubt? Sometimes, but that's becoming more and more rare. Um, see, here's one. Oh no, why would that cross your mind? I'm not sure what that was. What actions do you have you taken to get your anger issues in check? He It's about the time we talked about he was having an issue with his young boy. I'm Because I was out of control. I was angry about not being able to get my son's crying to stop. My anger turned into rage in a way that has never happened before, nor will I ever let it get that far ever again. The thing about anger is that it can't be controlled. Anger is a secondary emotion which needs to be understood as to what is causing it. Once you understand what is causing the anger in your life, you can then start working to eliminate it. In order to do that, though, you must get to the base emotion the anger is covering. That's what I've been working to do. Understand what is happening inside myself. Um, Do you feel God gifted you with the ability to forgive? So when you stand before Him, you will forgive Him for what He put you in your life. I've never really felt a need to forgive God. I never have felt like God did that to me. I believe God gifted me with forgiveness and let me go through what I went through so that I would have a way to understand and help other people who have been through trauma and woundedness of their own. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to get to all the questions. So, Christopher, thank you so much for answering those very insightful questions. Um, and now we are going to get started with tonight's show. But before we introduce Callie, I need to say something about because this is the reason why I wanted Callie on my show because it's all about love. And you know the definition of love it comes in many forms, right? You show it by telling someone you love them, but you know, I think sometimes mere words fall short of that meaning. You know, love is not just an emotion you exhibit. it's an action that requires authenticity, not just on occasion when it suits you. It's like a hug that you let linger on for several seconds more than expected. It's the holding of someone's hand with a gentle swiping touch. It's looking at someone directly in their eyes, smiling genuinely, and telling them that they are the most important person in your life. Now, obviously, I understand with COVID, it's curtailing the human contact. That's almost like to a halt. And we all miss that close interaction, but showing love consistently has this measurable chemical in your brain that creates things that excite and inspire you. So I want to introduce you to someone who loves people unconditionally with every fiber of her being. And her name is Callie Truelove. Now, she was born with Williams syndrome, and her mother's Tabitha's with us, and she's going to explain a little bit more about Williams syndrome. But what you see with Callie is what you get from her. She has no airs of false representations. And after this show is over, my wish is that she will say something that will resonate with all of you to the point that she gives us just one scintilla of hope. That when you look at the world with all the divisiveness and turmoil, there's someone like Callie Truelove, who is our angel of grace and love. And I think my instincts are going to prove true. And again, with the questions, I encourage everyone to ask questions or make comments because I think it's important that that what Callie says, that we answer those questions. So enough about my introduction. Thank you so much for Tabitha and Callie coming to my show. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
This was such a big opportunity for me when my producers told me that they wanted me to do a podcast with you. I was like, yes, there's no holding back. Let's do it. I'm so ready. So this is the first big event we've ever done for this year. So we are so excited. We're honored and we're privileged to be here.
That is awesome. That's what I like to hear. It's just I don't consider myself huge, but I consider myself giving back to people with the guests that I have. So Tabitha, let's start talking about this because I brought in the fact about Williams syndrome. Can you explain what that is?
Yes, it is. Williams syndrome is a rare genetic condition that's presented at birth. It's the deletion of the 7th chromosome, and many individuals have heart conditions, and they in their aorta, and it's aortic stenosis is normally, or pulmonary stenosis they have. They have feeding issues. They have acid reflux. As babies, they have colic. They have learning and developmental challenges. They have distinct facial features, and they have very overly friendly personalities. And they're just a joy to be around. It's just it's amazing. And when our doctor, told us that Callie had Williams syndrome, and told us all about it, it was something that I didn't really understand at the time, and the way that he was talking about it. But as she's gotten older and seeing all that personality come out, and the love and just it's just amazing. It's just amazing, and I see it every day, and she just amazes me every day.
Now, you said, you told me when we talked before about, or I heard it somewhere in a podcast, I've seen so many podcasts with both of you on there, that she wasn't expected to live a year, or a lot of times it doesn't happen for that. But you said something very insightful about what you felt like when you saw an outfit that said 1-year-old. What was that about?
Whenever we found out Callie was sick, or had at the time, we didn't know she had the Williams syndrome. We just knew that she had a severe heart problem with her aorta. It was extremely small, all 3 linings. And the doctor told us, we went to Eccleston, and they, started doing tests, and they were pretty sure that it was Williams syndrome, but they wanted to make sure. And so that day we met with our cardiologist. She started explaining everything that was wrong with Callie's aorta, and then she had the pulmonary stenosis, and she looked at us and she said, but we can do surgery on the pulmonary side, but the aorta, it's her whole aorta all throughout her body, and there's nothing that we can do. And she just looked at us and said, looked at us in the face and said, take your baby home and just live every minute like it's the last. And I remember just thinking, this cannot be. And so we came home, and my husband took off work, and she told us sitting there that day, she said, I can't give her 30 minutes. I can't give her a week, but we know that she will never see her first birthday. And, so, time went on, and there's a whole nother story about how, that the days that we lived in that time, that, stuff was just revealed to me, and how, I prayed and prayed, and I just wasn't getting the answers that I wanted. This whole nother story. But anyway, so we would take her back at the first we had to put her on blood pressure medicine, because the doctor said, we can buy her a little bit of time lowering her blood pressure. So they did that. We had to take her back to the doctor, and every time we would take her back to the doctor every day to have her blood pressure checked, that was just the same thing. It was still high, and And so we just lived every day like it was the last. And I think we all should do that, but we all forget to do that. But this outfit, we were in a store, and I saw this outfit, and I just completely broke down in the store. And I told my mom, I said, I'm not buying that outfit because it said, happy 1 year birthday. And I just thought, I wanted to buy that so bad, but I couldn't bring myself to doing it, because I knew what the doctor had told us. And my mom said, you are going to buy that outfit. You are going to get that outfit, and she's going to see her first birthday. And, thank God I did buy that outfit, and she did get to wear that outfit. And, she's 17 years old now. And, it's just amazing that what I learned through that is that we need to take every day and cherish every moment, the good and the bad. And because none of us are promised tomorrow. And I think that we're human, and we get caught up in everyday things. But I think that it made me stop and realize that life is precious. And, and the days that God gave us, is just, they're precious, and we just have to make the most of it. Even through those dark times, it was such a blessing. And I know some people may not understand that, but God showed me so much through that I learned, with my family, with my friends, with people that I don't even know, that I cherished every moment that I had. And, we, like I said, we're human, and we fail, and we get caught up, and we don't do that every day. But we need to strive to love people, and to cherish every moment, even people that we don't know. You never know what that person's going through, what they need. And I had so many people to say things to me that I didn't even know, that helped me get through this, and helped me get through that dark time in our lives. So
Callie, I think you're just a chip off the old block, aren't you? Because you're just an extension of your mom. Now I was kind of wondering, because as you were growing up, did you feel at any point that you were different at all, or did you feel like you were treated like you're just like one of everyone else?
No, not really. I mean, my parents loved me like they would love a normal child, and I had the best childhood ever, because I remember when I got my first ice cream. I remember doing crafts with my grandma, my great grandma. I mean, life is good and God is good. Can't complain at all. But I did have the best childhood ever. And my mom and dad both worked their tails off to make sure that they provided for not only me, but they had 3 other kids besides just me. So they treated us all equal, and that made me feel really special. I love everybody with all my heart, and I feel like everybody has a purpose in this life. And don't feel different just because somebody tells you that you are not beautiful or you don't have a purpose on this earth, because yes, you do. I'm a living testimony, and I will tell you that you are worth it.
Amen, sister. Amen on that one. I appreciate you saying that. And I just wonder because it's always easy in this world because I talked about it at the beginning of the show about the divisiveness and turmoil that a lot of people get jaded with all this negativity. How are you able to maintain such a positive attitude about things?
I just always love to encourage others. And I love telling other people that they have a purpose in this life too. And God puts people in our lives for a reason. And God put my followers in my life so that I could help them, so that I could encourage them, and that I could help them get through this life. But it's really all about spreading the love and going through what other people are going through and spreading the love and hugging them, crying with them, loving on their shoulder, telling them that they can get through this no matter what the challenge is. And I have had some followers that has been through a lot more than I ever went through, and it's just sad, but I always love to encourage them, make them feel like they have a purpose in life, because oh yes they do. And I just love putting others before myself. It's something that I was raised to do, and it's something that I will always love to do.
Now you said at some point some girl contacted you. She watched your video and she said that she was about ready to commit suicide, but after watching you, she decided not to. What happened with that?
Well, she messaged us on Facebook and she said, I've lost everything. I'm about to just give up on life and commit suicide. And then she watched a few of our videos, and then she messaged us back a few days later and she said, thank you so much for being a Christian and encouraging me, not only me, but others in this world. And I'm not going to commit suicide, and God is with me. And I know that everything's going to be okay now, because y'all just reassured me and y'all just got my faith back. So that is incredible. And even if it was only just that one person, oh my gosh, it still melts my heart. But even if it was just that one person, that was worth everything that we told her. That was worth everything that we went through. And it wasn't only me, but that person made the choice to keep living. That person made the choice to not to commit suicide, and she wanted to show others that you can still live through challenges in this world. So it was a team effort. It was both of us encouraging each other. So I think she smack talked herself and she decided not to commit suicide. And she's still living today, and she still messages us back and forth. And it's just incredible to be able to spread that love everywhere.
It's interesting because a lot of people kind of fake showing love, but you don't have one air of fakeness to you.
Thank you.
How do you share your ideas with other people? Because you can share it by saying it, but yours are more about actions, right?
Yeah. So now we do it. We do a Bible lesson every night, which is called a daily dose of true love, and we always encourage others. We're always laughing with others. We're always crying with others, because I want to put myself in the other person's shoes and see what they're really going through, because sometimes we don't understand what people are going through. So it's a good thing to put ourselves in that position and understand what they're going through. But my job is to just spread the love, teach them about God, and spread the good news that there's a God that loves us more than we could ever imagine. And that's just how I spread my love. It's still like a stab in the heart because I can't hug anybody or kiss anybody,
That's
which I
tough.
love to do. But still, we can still do it. no matter what the situation is. I mean, we're all in this COVID stuff, and we still can spread love no matter what comes our way. The challenges is what makes us stronger in life. And if we can push through this, we can push through anything.
You got that right. Tabitha, you said something about going to a mall is a lesson in futility with Callie, because you guys just don't go through a mall and just go shopping. Callie has to stop and talk to everybody. How does that work?
Everybody. Yes, we in the grocery store, at the doctor's office, everywhere we go, the post office, wherever we go, she has to talk to everybody that passes her. And even if they don't want to talk, she talks to them anyway.
Yes.
And most of the time, and shame on me, but I will say, if I'm in a hurry or something, I'll say, Callie, no talking. Let's, we're in a hurry. We got to do this. And I'll say no talking. And Callie and Callie fashion will just have to burst out and say, you look beautiful today, or I love your shoes, or I love your tattoo, or I love your outfit, love your hair. And, always there is somebody that will say, I needed that today. And then I feel about the size of a pea, because I'm in a hurry and I'm saying, no talking. But Callie sees that need, and and I don't know how to explain it, but she's always knew when somebody needed just that little bit of encouragement. And if it was just a smile, or if it was just, saying, I love your shoes, or, your hair looks beautiful today. She always knows that somebody needs that. And it's amazing. And I think I've said this many times, that I feel like that we all have that in us, but sometimes we hold back, and we don't do it, but we don't know, what a blessing it is. And then it makes, Callie will say, oh, that was a blessing, Mom. And I'm like, you're right. It was a blessing, and so
I personally don't like to go shop. The only reason I go out in public is just so that I can be silly and spread the love like I always do. So for me, it's not about the shopping. It's about going out in public and finding somebody who needs you and somebody who you need to talk to. And if I feel like it's a whole crowd of people I need to talk to, I will, because I want the people to feel like they're loved, because who knows what they're going through? Who knows what they've been through in their life? I mean, some people are not raised in good homes like me and my sisters were when we was little, and still now we're in our adult years. And even now we're still loved. But some people doesn't have that in their lives. And we need to step up to the plate, and we need to be the people that shows them that, which is why I go out in public. It'll take me and my dad hours to get out of Kroger, because everybody knows me in there, and I'll just be like, hey, so-and-so, how are you? And they'll be like, good. And we just start a 40-hour long conversation. I mean, it's just crazy.
Hey, you know what, Tabitha? Think of it this way, okay? Callie is saving you money because she's not spending money, but she's doing what she's doing for free.
That's exactly right.
You can't do any better than free, and you're doing so much more value with that.
It's a compromised budget. I mean, they spend money. I do the free budget. So I mean.
Well, Tabitha, you're probably so exhausted by then. It says go with it, and then I'll just watch.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going back to the car. Anyway, so Callie, I always talk to different people. They've gone through, terrible situations in their life, whether physical or psychological or whatever, and they paint themselves as a victim, not necessarily the guests that I've had on my show, but a lot of people paint themselves as a victim. But you have said that Williams syndrome is a gift and not a hindrance. Why is that?
Well, because God made me this way when I was in my mama's womb. God said, okay, you're going to have special needs, but you're going to touch a lot of lives by having it. So I just listened to what God told me. I was cute as a baby. I'm just gonna be honest. I had like elf looking features. I was Santa Claus's elf. So, but anyways, the reason why I love my disorder so much is because I can spread unconditional love, but yet I can teach others about kids who has disorders. And it's such a blessing to be able to spread that worldwide. And we can still do that. We can still reach out to people with our podcast or with our Zooms or whatever we do. We can still teach people about Williams syndrome. That's what this film is about that we're doing, is encouraging others who has disorders to just live their life fully, because life is too short and we shouldn't be wasting it being worried about how we look or what other people thinks about us. We should just be living it the best that we can, and however God makes us, that is what we're gonna do, and whatever He tells us to do, that's what we're gonna do it. So
the movie or the is a documentary, right?
Yes.
yes,
Who's involved with that then?
Christopher Knight, which is Peter Brady on the Brady Bunch, and
Yeah, he
Phil
was on my show.
Verado,
yes,
He was on my
yes,
show. That was nice.
yes,
Phil Verado, and Amy Lank. So
yes.
Do you because you've gone through some physical challenges, right? I mean, one of the biggest things about in 2014, you had heart surgery. What was going through your mind back then?
well, basically what the doctor said is that I needed surgery right away. But the scariest thing is I could have died both ways. I could have not had the surgery and went into cardiac arrest, but I could have still had the surgery and went under cardiac arrest while I was asleep. So they said 99.9% she ain't gonna make it either way. But I fought for my life and I got through it, and here I am 17 years later, just living the dream. And I did it by my faith. I trusted God. I said a prayer, and He got me through this. He said, "You're not finished yet. You still got work to be done. So I'm not going to take you home just yet because you ain't done yet." So that's what I've been doing. I've been living for God ever since I was 2 years old, and I love it. So that's why I was able to cope. And the thing that hurt the worst was my arm. It wasn't my chest at all. It was my arm, because the tube had hit a sciatic nerve in my shoulder. So
A nerve.
a
Yes.
nerve, yes. So it was just my shoulder that hurt. Still hurts to this day when I eat ice sometimes. But other than that, I'm healthy now.
Wait, but you said you eat ice and it hurts.
Yes, it. Every time I move it a certain way, or I eat something a certain way, it hurts it. Like if I eat something too hot, it hurts it. Like if I eat
Well,
something,
here's a clue. Don't eat ice and you're not going to hurt, right?
yeah.
Well,
I had to learn
There
that
you
the
go.
hard way. I stopped.
it's like the doctor saying you slam your hand like this. This is on video that we're looking at each other, but it's like stop moving your hand that way. It's not going to hurt anymore.
That's exactly right.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been in that position before. Why you hate yourself? Why you hate yourself?
So Tabitha, let me ask you this: you've watched Callie grow up. What have you learned most from Callie?
Callie has taught me more in 17 years than I could ever teach her in a lifetime. I have learned, and she's taught me to cherish every moment, to see people and the world in a whole different light. I've told this a million times. We see a butterfly, or we see a rose, or we see the mountains and the oceans and stuff like that, and we see them, but Callie sees that in such a different way. It's like it's just amazing, and she's taught me to really see things and to see people beyond the first, like instead of me seeing somebody and thinking and judging that person just like every human does. she's taught me to see the inside them and to love them and even love the unlovable and to just cherish every moment and take. This is one thing that I can honestly say in every trial that we have been through in her life or within our family's life or just whatever trial or obstacle comes our way, Callie always finds a positive in that. And instead of focusing on that trial or that mountain, and we call them bumps in the road, she sees a positive in there. And she has taught me to see that positive and to see that blessing and to keep going. And we say chugging along. Sometimes we are, as humans, we're so focused on the negative and we're focused on the trial that we're going through, or we're worried about this or that, whenever we don't stop and see the blessings along the way, even though we may be going through a trial. And to just cherish every moment, and if the car tears up, laugh about it, and just take that time to sit there.
I just have to say something really
Yes.
quick. You were such a good student. I never had to send you to detention, and I was honored to be your teacher.
What the heck?
This is Callie. This is what
That's
she
cool.
is all the time. Yeah. I mean it, and she's taught me to laugh and to I don't know, just to enjoy life, because I think sometimes we just get so bogged down that we just don't stop and enjoy. Really, I thought I did, but really I didn't. And really, she's taught me to see people. Just we were in Louisiana, and there was a homeless lady, and
oh Lord, here
and
comes the water.
and and again, shame on me. I'm telling her, Callie, no talking, but I could see her hurting for this lady, and I could see her wanting to show her love. And Callie screams out across the McDonald's, "You look beautiful today." And the lady just lit up. And no disrespect, but her clothes were dirty, her hair was just a mess, and me being the person that, like, human, I saw that. I didn't see beyond that. And Callie did. And whenever she said something to that lady, just that, "You look beautiful today," it changed the whole look on that lady's face. It was like she just was like, "Me? You're talking to me?" And Callie sees that, and I strive to see that. I strive to see the beauty in things that I don't see with just looking, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because I understand that, because I told a story. I just did Betty Hefner. She interviewed me about a story with a homeless person that I paid for his meal. You don't know what they're going through, but as long as you show them that they matter,
right?
And I think that's key. And then I think that's what Callie does. It's because she has the capacity to look beyond what's in front of her.
Absolutely.
And I think that's so important, that's missing in society. And what's really cool, I wish all of you could watch, because we're all looking at each other, because you listeners, you can't see it, but I just see two things. I see, Callie, you're constantly smiling. And it's a trait that a lot of people miss out. Tabitha, you're doing the same thing as well. And I wish people could see this, because Callie, you're just an amazing individual who makes a difference in everybody's life every single day.
Well,
And
thank
I don't want you ever I don't want to ever lose that, because it's just that's my rant. I'm sorry. I had to say that, because I'm so impressed by you.
No, it's true.
And I think and that's I think that's one thing that sometimes I worry about, because I don't want her to ever lose that. I want her to always be the way that
Humbling
she
her.
is. And, sometimes, there is so much negative and in the world that I don't want her to ever change. And I tell her that all the time. And I don't see her ever changing because you know, I just feel like that there's something in there that is just different. And, we didn't know when she was born that she had Williams syndrome. She started having these episodes, and at 2 months old is when we found out she had Williams syndrome. But I knew the moment that she was born, there was something, and I can't explain it, but I knew there was something there that was special. And not meaning that special needs the that she has, but I believe that special needs is what makes her who she is. And I believe that, I wouldn't change. And some people, I've even said this to another Williams syndrome mom, that she was having a hard time with the diagnosis of her daughter. And I told her, I said, you know, it's hard to hear that your child is going to have struggles. That's hard. But she will be the biggest blessing in your
Hmm.
life. And she sort of like got really upset with me. And I understood why at the time, because that's something that, you don't want to hear that your child's going to struggle. And when I say struggle, she struggles with things that I take for granted every day. I mean, take for granted. And that's one thing that I've learned. Another thing that, the things that I take for granted, she struggles with. And so at that time, this mother got sort of, like really upset with me. And several years later, she said, "You were right, and I have to apologize." I'm not thankful that Callie struggles, and I'm not thankful that she has to go through the things that she has to go through. And I'm not thankful that she faces the struggles that she faces, but I'm so thankful that God has shown me what He has shown me through her. And I would not change that. And Callie says, she wouldn't change her life for
At all.
nothing, because it's who she is. And it's made her who she is, and it's made her meet people and love people, and let people love us. And I think that's what the world needs. The world needs that love, and that inspiration. And just like you say, sometimes the homeless people, sometimes they choose to be that way, but then sometimes they don't choose to be that way.
Hmm.
It's a cycle, and they need somebody to just give them a start, or just give them an uplifting to where that they see that they matter to somebody, and then give them, help them along the way. And I believe Callie has taught me that. And whenever I didn't really see that, and it's just amazing that the way that she sees people, and the way that she sees the world, the way that she sees, animals, or whatever. It's amazing to me. And I can't explain it. I can't explain it.
I just have to say something. I love my family so much. Like I have three amazing brother-in-laws, and I have three amazing sisters. I'm like the dudette in the boy group, and I love it because it's fun. We go fishing, we go mudding, and I also love my sisters because sometimes I'll go out to eat for dinner, and even the boys, they'll take me out to eat for dinner. But sometimes us girls will go get our nails done, and sometimes us boys, I'm the dudette of the group, and I love to go fishing, mudding. I'm a girly girl, but I'm also a tomboy deep down inside, and so I love spending time with all of them, and I love my mom and dad too, and dog.
Callie, of all the things you do on a daily basis with people all the time, you have you don't have a filter when it comes to love, right? So when you confront, or not confront, when you connect with people, uh, is there is there a feeling that uh, it's kind of hard to trust someone else's how they're going to react? Do you ever worry about that?
Nope, not at all. I just, if I feel like that person's had enough, then I'll shut my mouth. But if they want me to keep going, I'll just keep going. But I don't worry at all because I feel like people takes it differently. Yeah, there is always going to be negativity no matter what we do, no matter how hard we try. But if we can make somebody happy, that's all that matters. I do not worry if somebody is going to get mad or comment something mean. I don't worry about that at all. Even if they do, I just
She just
wipe
brushes it off.
brush it off and move on to the next thing. But I never worry if somebody's had enough of me or anything. Now I can talk a ears goats off, but I mean, I love to talk. That's just who I am. That's how God made me.
That's very apparent. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it.
Yeah, she's gonna talk to you whether you want her to talk to you or not. She doesn't.
There was this one couple at Dollywood that did not want to be my friend, and at the end of the conversation, they was. You just have to keep on talking whether people likes it or not. You just have to keep motivating
She just
yourself.
spreads that love.
Just spread that love.
Now, I forgot to bring this up. We were going to talk about doodles. Um, tell us a story about doodles and now Dolly.
Well, this is so crazy because I was getting a lot of blessings when I was going through open heart surgery because I got Dolly
Doodle
in
in 2014.
2014, just a couple of weeks after my open heart surgery. And when I was from Make-A-Wish, and I'm gonna cry. When I first saw him, I knew that he was gonna change my life forever, and still he changes my life every day, and I miss him to death. He passed away with cancer last year. They had told we had found a little spot on him, and they had told us that he had cancer, and they tried everything, but it was just too late. But I'm so thankful because he changed my life, and he taught me unconditional love also, even though I had it before him, but he taught me even more. And yeah, and then at the beginning of this year almost, I got Dolly Star, which is Doodle's great niece. And when they knew that I was so heartbroken and distraught about Doodle, they had reached the same breeder and the same trainer reached out, and they was like, we want to give you a new service dog. Sorry, I had to cough. And we had found out that I was getting a new service dog, and I wanted a girl this time, and I wanted to name her Dolly Star after Dolly Parton.
We're gonna get her some water.
Sorry, guys.
You're good.
Yes, she's named after
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Does Dolly know that?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't know that that's Callie's favorite place to go is to Dollywood, and she loves Dolly Parton. She always has.
Yes. So when I found out, I was like, okay, we're getting a girl. Her name, I actually got her name from California. On the Walk of Fame, Dolly is the first female to have 2 stars on the Walk of Fame. So I decided to name her Dolly after Dolly Parton, so that when I meet Dolly, I can tell her that I have a service dog named after her. But she's just the greatest little thing. I mean, she cuddles with me at night. She licks my tears when I cry. I mean, it's like God and Doodle handpicked her out for me. Like, when she had no hair and it was just all skin, I fell in love with her. I cried. I was like, she's it, she's it. And then me and the trainer picked the same 2 dogs, and then when it came down to it, it was her. She was green ribboned, so everything I eat is green now.
Hmm. Well, hopefully, if Dolly sees this, maybe that you guys will be able to connect. So anything can
That would be
happen.
amazing.
Hey, Callie, people have what do people have misconceptions about someone who has Williams syndrome? What do you think those misconceptions are?
Well, all kids with the special needs are, I think, are taken differently because we look different, we walk different, we talk different. Some of us can't even talk. Some of us can't even hear. So I feel like we're misconcepted, but we are human just like everybody else. And I think that's what's most important to take from to learn about us is that we are all human. And yes, we may talk different, look different, walk different. We are just as human as everybody else, and we all have a purpose in life. And it does not matter what disorder you are diagnosed with, or even if you're a normal person, you are still special. We all have a purpose in life. That is what we need to remember. And we need to encourage one another that we all have a purpose in this life. So, yes, there are some misconceptions, but I think that I'm doing a good job at kind of helping people with that. So, yeah, that's that. Yeah, some people look at us different. We might walk, talk, sleep, smile different, but hey, we're all human. That's just how God made us, and we need to stay true to who we are no matter what.
Yeah, I was going to ask you the question, what final words would you like to impart? But I think you just said it. You see, you said it all, Kelly.
Thank you.
I thank you so much for coming on my show. Now, with the documentary, and I wanted to, when is that going to come out? Do you know? Is it done yet, or what's that? What stage
We're
of that?
thinking sometime this year.
We had to stop because of the pandemic. So we are waiting to start filming again. So as soon as things are opened up and we can get back to filming. So as soon as it's safe for us to travel and to
As soon as the producer says ready,
go for it.
Freddie, we're gonna go. I'll be like,
Well,
I'm pretty steady.
you can't rush perfection, so
There
don't
you go.
don't
Exactly.
don't rush it.
One day at a time.
There you go.
How do people reach you?
Well, we have Callie has a Facebook page, A Look into Callie's Heart. And she also has an Instagram is A Dose of True Love. And then they can find out about the film at truelovethefilm.com.
And I also have a YouTube channel.
And she has a YouTube channel. Callie Truelove is the YouTube channel.
I know you're 17 and all, and you've lived a more life than people who are in their 80s, Callie. But what do you hope to accomplish as you get older?
I hope to accomplish true unconditional love and always stay true to who I am and always be humble and kind to others. I can see myself in 5 years still doing what I'm doing, like encouraging others, being there for others, and just going through what they're going through. Because right now I feel like we're all in this together. But I still see myself in the future just being who I am, staying true to who I am, and always being humble and kind to others, and always respecting other people because that was how I was raised. It's in my DNA. I mean, how could you not love other people when you know that they're hurting deep down inside? And I mean, I just love everybody, and I'm always going to stay true to who I am because when you make a promise to a lot of people, they hold you to that promise. And I promised my followers that I would never change no matter what happens to me in my life. I'm never going to change.
Don't you dare change because I'm coming after you. Do that.
I won't. I promise you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on my show, you two. It's been a blessing. It's been an honor. I had this marked on my calendar for weeks, and I am so blessed and grateful to have you on my show. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you for asking us to be on the show. And
Yes. We feel like we've made our point, and we are so excited to see what the future holds. Hopefully, I can get you more. Hopefully, I could get you more followers. And, anyways, but you're already worldwide known, and so I hope that I could help somebody tonight, no matter what the circumstances are. I hope that I was a help to somebody, and we hope that we've made our point about Williams syndrome, and we hope that you guys got something out of this.
Oh, I know you did, and you'll get the questions and comments. There's gonna be a ton of them. So
please keep following this guy, guys, because he's doing such a good thing in the world, and he's helping you guys to stay strong through this
the difficult
times and in the world in general. So please keep following him. I'm begging of you, because he is incredible.
You heard it from the horse's mouth there.
Nay.
Nay.
She said nay.
All right. Well, as I always end my shows, I think that today, more than anything else, these 4 things are really important. I want everyone to smile affectionately, just like Callie. I want everyone to laugh genuinely, just like Callie. I would love everyone to love everyone unconditionally, just like Callie. And I want to have everyone live courageously. I believe in you two. I believe in everyone who's listened to my show, and I believe in that we are making a change, and you two are making a change. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great week. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you. Thank you for asking us to be on.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Sorry isn't this great for a pause? All right. Usually I have a song at the end, but I want to thank you again, and hopefully we will connect soon.
I would love to meet you in person and collaborate with you and just learn more about you.
You are clear.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the song. I was really kind of sorry about that, Rebel.
Oh, you didn't hear the song?
No, we didn't.
Oh, sorry about that.
There we go.
That's it.
Play. That was just showing you the recording.
Oh,
you can never hurt me again.
It's the very end of the recording.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'll take what I can get, Rebel. I appreciate it.
Rebel, was that you singing that song?
Oh, no.
What'd you think? Did we do a good enough job? I hope so.
There's no good enough with you. You are excellent in everything you do. I just feel so positive hearing you and meeting you. Thank you for being my new.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
No waterworks.
Don't cry. No waterworks.
She cries happy tears. That's what she says. She says it calls them happy tears.
Happy tears are welcome.
That was great. Thanks, Rebel. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing the show.
I'll see you Wednesday
nice
then.
To meet you.
Sweet dreams, Rebel. Sleep well.
Thank you. Y'all
see
too.
You Wednesday at 5.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Wasn't that fun?
That was so much fun.
I feel full. I'm gonna go to bed with a full heart.
Well, you always go to bed with a full heart, but this is I'm not kidding. I have been marking this on my calendar, and it was I always worry that some days something's going to happen where we can't connect. This is one of the shows that I said no, this just cannot happen. It's gotta happen.
Thank you.
Trust me, I think the Lord was here because our computer usually jumps off and all that stuff, but tonight it decided to hold out. So God was watching over us.
Well, that's encouraging. I mean, I've had shows where we got disconnected.
Oh, I was so worried about that. I was so worried.
our hearts
But
was.
thank you for giving us the opportunity to be on. It was a blessing. You are a blessing to us.
Oh yes, you're a gift from God, and we are so blessed to have you in our life.
Let's not that be the last day, okay? Because I need the two of you in my life. That's just the
Oh,
way.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I pray and hope that our producers will get together and they will arrange us to meet sometime. But if not, we'll fly out to see you.
You do not want to come up in cold weather here in Indiana. I want to go down to Gainesville. I don't want to come.
Oh,
Well, come stop by on your way up.
there you go.
Yeah.
So it will be because some of the followers they didn't have couldn't get on tonight. So when will it be where I can share it? It'll be on the iHeartRadio, right?
Right. It'll be on all the other platforms, but I generally, it's a lot easier to just send that because they can listen to all the other shows as well. But I as soon as we get done here, then I go through. I have to publish it. I have to do all my things to submit it, and then some days it's anywhere from 72 hours.
Okay.
Some days it's on Tuesday. Some days it's on Wednesday and no later than Thursday. So when it does come out, I'm going to immediately send that, tell you it's okay to share it.
Okay.
And then you can put it on your website or your social media, whatever, because I think I was reading the posts from people that said they couldn't listen to it, but they wanted to. And that's what's nice about it is, this show gets broadcast worldwide, but when people can't listen to it 24/7, they can listen to it anytime they want.
Yeah.
And I've had some really incredible people that just it's so inspirational because it's like everyone goes through challenges in their lives. It's just if you know that you can control how you react to the things.
Yeah.
That's the key because everything else is left to God, right? Because it's like everyone focuses on, they worry about things all the time about things they cannot control, and it dominates their life. It dominates their thought pattern all the time. Callie isn't one of those people, but I mean, it's just like we have like 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. 85% of what we think about is negative, and we get constantly bombarded with that. So it's just like you have to reprogram your mindset to change that. And I think it's real important that having someone on like Callie says, I don't care what I should say, I don't care, but I mean, they're going through things. And when Callie just starts talking about honesty and truth and love every day, I mean, I guarantee you the questions that I get, people are gonna come back with so many questions to you guys. So
it's amazing how that, like you said, you have to. Somebody asked me when years ago, how do you live every day not knowing? Because even to this day, she still has the heart problems, and we don't know. She could go into cardiac arrest at any moment. But you just have to you have to, like you said, you have to train your mind, and me, my faith, number one, is what the Lord gets me through each day. But we're all human, and you have to train your mind not to go there. Like we're human, we're going to do that, but we have to train our mind not to get so bogged down in that, because if I did, it would literally drive me crazy, and I just have to number one, trust the Lord, and then make the most of every day, which I'm human and I fail at that. But you just can't let your mind get there. And my mom struggled with depression and still to this day does. And I guess that also made me realize that you can't get there. And if you do get there, it's only you that can bring you out. You've got to want to do better. You got to want more, and you've got to think of the positive. And that's what Callie's taught me. Think of the positive, even if it's tiny little bitty, like small thing, just see that positive, because there's always a positive out there somewhere. And so that's what she's taught me. And I'm